Hey, what is going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me on a fun lunch break stream. Gonna try to get more of these in. But we all have these ideas and plans, right? In early of January of every year, we're like, I'm gonna do this more. And then slowly over the course of the year, we stick to some and some we don't. So we'll see. I actually might put a poll up on my community page on would people rather see more regular streams with like 1 to 3 videos per week, or the other way around, more regular videos and less streams. Streams are, as you guys know, I love streaming. I love hanging out with you all. It's also a great way for me to actually get my content done instead of like trying to rush through and hide in the corner and get stuff done and end up using items because I'm not paying attention. I'd rather use items because I'm talking to you and not paying attention. What is up, O's fan? You're going to be, all right, nice. Right guy. You're the first one to vote in the poll. I wonder who you went for. I got to check out the poll. The hood is winning. I did not expect that at all. I did not expect the hood. That was actually, if I had guessed, I would have thought hood would be last. I'm not saying I'm going to do what the poll says, but I do want community's input on this. And all of a sudden, Man Thing and Valkyrie have tied it up. So that's what happens when you look at the early results. That's what happens when you look at the early results too early. Rickert, what's up, dude? Saints, how you doing, man? Dane, how you doing? B McG with that emoji. I've never seen that emoji before. What is that? What is that? Are those eyes? Are those hands covering very tired looking eyes? What is that? I'm very curious. If anyone in the chat knows what that is, let me know. K-Dog, what's up, dude? I saw you watch the New Year's Eve stream back. That was awesome. You said you were partying in the streets. I love it. I love it. Bean, what's up, dude? Thanks for being here. K-Dog voted Hood. I love Hood too, man. I love Hood too. I was so frustrated by his rework and then undoing and then all the whole thing. I even remember I made a video. I was very upset. I don't even, you know how it is when you get upset. We just say stuff. Sometimes it's logical, sometimes it's not. I should rewatch that video and figure out, and try to remind myself why I was so upset, but I was very upset. And so as a result, it's like, I know he's really good, but I just was like, I had like a little bit of disgust, but that is worn off. I can't even remember why I was angry to begin with. B McG continuing to befuddle me with the emojis. That looks to me like maybe the Cheshire Cat. I think we're testing to see if I need bifocals. It is a very look closely. Dang, that makes sense. Look closely. I like it. No one knows what B does. It's a mystery. What's up, Grass? How you doing? B with more. Where are you even getting these from? Jeez. I'm just gonna do this. This is gonna be my response. That's my response in the chat. You're just trying to get, dude, you are the nicest. You're the nicest, B. You're the nicest. All right, so here's what we're doing. I really liked the thumbnail. I hope people like the thumbnail on this one. Because, as you all know, Battlegrounds is starting tomorrow. And time is what always kills me, guys, right? Whenever I'm like, I'm going to do this. It's not because I just changed my mind. It's because time, as you all know, I have a full-time job. And I have a full-time family. And I love all of them. I love it, so I'm not upset about it. But they come in and they're like, hey, you know how you said you wanted to do these other things? You're not going to do those anymore. And so I want to try to take the Battlegrounds pretty seriously this year. I'd like to try to rank more highly at the end of it all. But additionally, and this one I think I can do, is I'm in Ghost Dog's tournament. I think it's called the Winter Clash. And I'm very excited about it. I've already been knocked out of my own tournament. I've put up a bunch of stuff on my Twitter and my YouTube page, and I'm not promoting that right now. I want to talk about Ghost Dogs because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I want to do well in it. I would love to at least win one of my matches in the group stage, and then if I can, I'd love to advance. And I think I probably have the roster to do it. I'd like to test out some champions who I do not play very often. I recognize how good they are, but I don't play them very often. I almost never play King Groot. I recognize how good he is. I almost never play him. And so I want to kind of read through his abilities a little bit. We're going to take him through the event quest. Let's see who else. I would like to... Medusa. When she was at the top of the game, when she was at the top of MCoC, I was very bad at it. I admit. I was very, very bad at it. And so I don't really fully know how to play her. And so I want to do that. I've recently ranked her up. I think she was one of the champions who ranked up on my New Year's Eve stream. I had a drink or two when that happened, and I was starting to not feel very well, so I don't completely recall everything. There's a lot of talking. We're having a lot of fun. So I'm pretty sure I took her up on that stream. And then Cole Obsidian, he has been phenomenal. I know we talked about him. I no joke am considering, he won't be because I just don't think it's going to work out that way. But I'm really curious about how powerful he would be in a different meta, or just in general, like general default rankings, how powerful he would be in Battlegrounds. We'll check that out today. It's hard to say because Event Quest really does accentuate him quite a bit. And then Mantis is the boss. And who did I use to beat up Mantis? I know I've been beating her up pretty bad here. I love Domino. I love playing Domino. She is one of my favorite champions to play. And we'll breathe in Wolverine and Weapon X. Something with Mantis, and when a mutant is like healing, it's like this super niche thing. It's like if they're wearing a diaper and also healing, you turn off Mantis. It's something like that. If anyone knows it exactly, let me know. PWF with the, are they sneezing? Are they crying? I like they're crying. I think it's like a purple crying thing. I would tell you guys what it reminds me of, but I have a feeling none of you here on right now have young children, so you'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Nightmare, what do you think you'll have for top 50 in solo and Alliance Banquet? I have no idea, man. You know, the thing is with the Banquet, and that's why, like, I try to give that advice as best I can, is like, it's like it is a blind auction. It's not like a blind auction, it is one. And so it's like any sort of auction where if you go in and you just set your limit, that's pretty smart. But if you try to guess like what other people are going to do, it could fluctuate. That's why one auction, the item can end up at $10 and another one, it's $100. And it's just because there happened to be enough people who got worried about what someone else was going to do. And so like, I have literally no clue. I have literally no clue. But I hope you get it. I hope you get whatever you were looking for. OG Highline, what is up, dude? B, no, dude, throw these emojis in because I'm actually having a good time learning and trying to figure out what that is. That looks like pink frozen yogurt. I think that's pink frozen yogurt. Grassroots voting too. So he's actually pretty cool, dude. I've been playing him a decent amount as I've got him. I think I told everyone on that stream that I would rank him. Yeah, I did. In fact, I need to tweet that out. Because we ended the stream early. I got a message as something I had to take care of. My wife was like, dude, you're needed now. So I saw that and I was like, oh, yeah, I am. I saw why. And so I went and took care of that. We'll see what happens there. Long story short, it's been raining a ton in my area. And so there's a lot of water stuff going on. But the point of the story is Atuma, I did take him to rank 3. I think I have him at SIG 160 because he's going to be in that next featured crystal, and I will be opening up that crystal. DLL's champion, I think we all know it is Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man looks amazing. So does sheesh, why can't I think of the name of the other character? Can you guys help me out here? He's an awesome character too. He looks so cool. Zemo, thank you. I don't know which one of them will be in the crystal, but they both look awesome, so I'm excited. Thank you, Scarco. What's up, Scarco? Thanks for being here, dude. What's up, J-Will? And then there's other champions in that I really want to get, so I'll be opening that. So that's why I took Atuma only to 160, but I really, really like him. I think having him at the higher rank ups will be really helpful to him because you really do want to get his ramp going with those SP2s. I think a defender, I don't know if I'm ready to put him in the classic defender category of like Thing and Korg, but he might get there. He really might. And so just messing people up that way, I think he'd be pretty good. And I think when he's facing science champions who place a lot of debuffs, I think his ramp's going to be quick enough where you might be able to use him as an attacker in Battlegrounds. Maybe. We'll see. Happy freaking New Year. You got it, dude. You got it, OG. I got to catch up on chat a little bit. I lose interest in champ. Yeah, dude, like, that's just how it is, K-Dog. Like, like, Cole's pretty simple. The only thing I'm still a little unsure on with him is how quickly I want to trigger his route. Like, do I want to trigger that right away or wait a little bit? I feel like I want to land some armor breaks and then do it. But we'll get into this and let me catch up on chat and then we'll get into the gameplay a little bit. Born, how you doing, dude? Wait, I wear diapers? Which champ gets buffed by that again? I don't know. We'll find out. Heinz, what's up, dude? English, how you doing? And I think we said hello to everybody. What's up, Jeff? All right. And of course, we get to the first one here with Mr. Sinister. He's going to try to kill me right away. He's like, you're learning how to play champions? I would like to mess that up. Okay, cool. This doesn't look too shabby. I'm just going to do a quick read through on Medusa. If anyone in the chat's like, dude, this is how you play Medusa, and you feel like writing it out, go ahead and write it out, and I'll just read it really quick. But we all know her Sig ability gets her the potential for the 3 Fury buffs and then the auto block, right? I remember there used to be a lot of conversation about, did you want to actually get her Sig up? DLL, this is how long I've known this guy, right? It was always like, you don't want to put Sigs in because anyone who knows how to play her knows that you shouldn't be hitting her, so you're almost wasting it. Okay, she's poison immune, we know that. Medium attack, slash with her hair, breaking. So it's the medium attack that breaks the opponent's armor. Medium SP1, medium SP1. We're seeing that more than once here in the chat. When the opponent has 6 armor breaks, they are removed and replaced by an armor shatter. Is there a way to elongate the armor shatter to keep it going? That's for 26 seconds. That's a long time. And it reduces the opponent's armor up, but okay, the opponent's armor buff suffer 100% ability accuracy. Additionally, for robot champions, this is really nice about Arcus. So this caused me to play Arcus. I like him way more than I thought I would. And their ability accuracy gets turned off. We were aware of this. I remember this in like, it was Act 5. I think it was Act 5. Light attacks and all heavy attacks is how you bleed. So you get that up. All right. So we'll do what you all are saying. Medium, SP1, and see how this goes. You need to rush SP3 to prolong the armor break shatter. Okay. What's up, Zach? How you doing, dude? You're lurking today? I got you. Hussein, what's up, dude? All right, let's have some fun with this. Let's see how this goes. Sinister has been known to ruin many a plan. Why do I have an armor break on me? That's got to be the node. There we go. Let's see if we can get him to throw it. He is healing quite a bit. And the left side of my screen does not appear to be working. This happens quite a bit with this phone. Anyone who's caught my streams knows this. Looks like we lost our armor shatter, so he healed most of that back up. All right, we're just going to let this concussion fall off. We'll take a few shots to the face for fun. Wow, that is really going to become an issue, isn't it? If we're going to keep... it's causing my dashes to not... I'll see if maybe my phone's got something covering it. See if we can get this fixed. Because it's not enjoyable. Making reparries not trigger. That's not been happening on my actual playing phone that I normally play on, so I don't think this is a game. I think this is just my phone. I could actually feel it be a little sticky. So wiping that down. Oh, that's the new Wonder Woman variant. She's pretty cool. I think her name's like Yara Floor or something like that. She's pretty cool. Medium SP4. I assume you mean SP1, or you're making a joke. Either way, it's cool. What's up, Sushi? What's up, Tobias? BG Master won't log enough for an SP3. Yeah, I think it's going to be this medium SP1. I appreciate you guys kind of turning me on that. Arcus was really a good call. And I think it was DLL who pointed out about the reductions of power burn and things like that. Maybe his right hand is just stronger. Oh, wait, I understand the joke now. What's up, K-Dog? And I think PWF has joined the chat. Is that accurate?
What's going on, Vega?
How you doing, dude?
Not doing pretty well.
I'm gonna
nice break.
I'm gonna tune you up a little bit. Don't change your volume. Everyone in the chat, let me know if PWF's coming in too quiet or too loud. I appreciate it. You're on a break. Are you like me? You're doing a little lunch break right now?
No, I am taking off until next Wednesday.
Oh, what's today's? Today's Tuesday?
Something like that.
I've completely lost track of the days, especially because my kids both had yesterday off. So like they're starting the week on a random day that, I guess it's not really random, but it's not what they normally do.
It's not right. Shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, no, it's like, hello, parents have been with their children for a very long time now. Can they please go back to school? Oh, that was cool. I forgot how nice Medusa is to play.
Talking about the auto block there?
Yeah. A player like me needs some safety measures built in.
Especially when your phone doesn't want to respond to you.
Yeah, it's doing better though, so I can only blame it for so much right now.
You can blame it forever.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Does this look like pretty decent Medusa play to you?
Yeah, I think probably in Battlegrounds to do the SP1, SP2. But of course, have to test it.
That's pretty smooth. And then once you get up the armored chat, are you going to go ahead and do those 5-hit combos to get to the SP2 a little faster?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tobias is saying their kid goes back tomorrow. What are they trying to do to you over there, man? That is not fair. Oh, jeez. What's up, Antonio? PWF too quiet. I know we do not want PWF too quiet, but people need to hear this. People need to hear this. Dynamics. Are you kidding me right now? A truckload with Vicks Vapor Rub overturned on the 15? That's out in the I-15. I'm familiar with that down in like the San Diego, going up towards Riverside and Temecula. Is that about right, Dynamics? Oh, got it. I just fell for a joke. Got to read the whole thing before you got to read the whole. That's why you read the whole message before you say it out loud. That's still a good joke though. I like it. Mighty Dan's go back tomorrow in high school. All right. Macho's kid went back today. Congratulations to you. Did you go anywhere? Did you travel this break, PWF?
No, my sister flew into town for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
Yeah, and then had to work on New Year's Day.
What?
In the middle of my vacation.
On the actual first?
Yep.
Are you allowed to say why? Like, what could possibly be going on that would require, or is that kind of getting too much?
No, I mean, an application that I support, its main system had to go under maintenance, and it's like the only time of year production will allow it.
Okay.
Because no one's really working.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we might have to be down for 2 days or so. And it's like, that's not allowed any time the rest of the year. You get to work on New Year's.
Oh, well, that was very nice of you to do it then.
Yeah, luckily I didn't have a whole lot of just a bunch of listening to them. It's like, yeah, this isn't going right. It's like,
hey, speaking of which, because wow, you know what? There is no one else's phone is doing this, is it? I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like my character will just. It's like they're in mud. I don't know how else to explain this. Like they just won't finish off dash animations. Is that happening to anyone else? I will say I haven't played it all today. Is it just me? Is it a special me thing?
I have not had that.
Yeah, it's like Cole Obsidian just was like refusing to move forward. I don't.
Starco was bragging about their summer break going back on the February 1st.
What? You go back on February 1st? So you just get the whole month of January off? What sort of schooling is this? Where is this at? And why did I not go there when I was a child? P Dobbs, what's up, dude? My kids are out all week. My wife is out of town until Thursday. My sanity is... Oh, my goodness gracious. I am so sorry. I mean, it's amazing, right? We all love our children. But I thought about introducing my kids to Lord of the Rings the other day. But they saw the promo for Harry Potter 2 and chose that instead. It was fine.
You're like, here, sit in front of the TV for 9 hours or so.
That was exactly my hope. Was that they would love Lord of the Rings, and then as a result, we would get 9 hours out of it. But it didn't play out. See, like right there, he did not move forward to punish like I had told him to. But this has been incredible. So for everyone watching, if anyone's like, hey, I play Cole, this is how you should do it. Should I be triggering it? I believe it is his route buff right away. Or should I be waiting till I build up a few armor breaks and hopefully throw the SP2 with it? I've been doing that route and it's been serving me pretty well. I know that because it's EQ, he is getting a nice benefit from having that armor break up. I mean, the Fury is increasing attack rating by 35%. That's a lot. But these defenders do have larger health pools than we'd see in Battlegrounds. So
typically, whenever I'm playing, I'm also high.
Hey.
Typically, whenever I'm playing, I might try to stack up a few armor breaks, at least like 4 to 5, if that. Like maybe 1 to 2 heavies, and then in a route. Because it really cranks that damage up, having the extra negative armor.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
So you're less concerned with where you are power-wise. This is going to be really hard. I'm going to try to stop complaining about it, but it is really annoying to not have my champions moving forward when I want them to. So you're more interested in how many armor breaks you have up, less interested in how close you are to the SP2.
Correct. Yeah, at least when I play him. And granted, I'm far from a Cole expert. But I try to get as many hits in during route as I can.
Yeah.
And I think like whenever you hit, it pauses them, or that might just be the Thanos' favorite buffs. But I try to get as many hits as I can in during route. So the more hits with a lower damage modifier, like just from basic hits, I think are going to end up doing more than like just 4 hits at a special too.
Yeah, that is one thing that's... I mean, he's just destroying this quest for me. I think part of
EQ, he's insane.
Yeah. And so it's been a little tough to gauge what will happen outside of this. But the one thing that has happened is I have determined that his kit is way more involved than I thought it was. And I'm not saying he's got like a super complex kit. I'm saying that there's just a lot more to it than I thought there was. I know this probably isn't going to kill. I'm just annoyed. Oh, let's see. Well, Proxima played nice. I feel like Medusa's moving in slow motion. I feel like my whole game is so bizarre. You have B. Go back to those emojis, B. Which, by the way, King of the Hill was a great show, right? Was there anyone who didn't like King of the Hill? I'm really curious if there was.
No, it's great.
Bobby was amazing. And Hank was such a good dad, man. Like, I think he just wanted to be a good dad, And they were hilarious together. P-dubs, I'll be lurking judo class for one of my boys. Right on, man. Have some fun with that. That sounds cool. Eric, it's worth it, dude. King of the Hill is really good.
It's so fun. I watched that like growing up.
Yeah,
with my older brother. It's a good time.
One of the reasons why I actually do like it, since we're talking about it now, is like I haven't watched it in forever, so maybe my opinion would change. Is like sometimes when there's a show that's a comedy and it's clearly based on like a geographic area, like it's well, they're in Texas, right? Arlene, if I remember correctly. Like,
yes.
I don't feel like they were being mean to that area. I felt like it was like playful, loving humor. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I that's why that's part of why I really liked it. Dynamics. You know what, dude? I've been wondering about that, and one of the people I follow on Twitter, and I can't remember if it's Joey or Mr. Belding, has been putting up a lot of Cosmic Spider-Man stuff. We can bring him into this. I only haven't ranked one.
Yeah, it was Joey.
Is it Joey? I've been curious about that. I used to, when I was terrible at this game, I loved him. He was like my favorite champion in the game.
I used him all the time too, like back when 4 stars were the thing, and you could just spam armor breaks, essentially infinitely.
Yeah.
And he would do, you know, a 20,000, 30,000 crit like in 4-star days. That was wild to see.
Mantis is
upset. Joey's trying to make Cosmic Spidey his thing.
Oh,
I respect him for it.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for it.
Yeah, Vega, a lot of times it looks like you're doing a Quicksilver style attacks where it's just so slow and delayed between each one.
That's how this feels to me too. I was wondering if it actually appeared that way on screen, because it feels that way, and looking at my phone, that's how it feels. And then right there, I don't know if you guys saw, like, Wolverine dashed in for an attack and then just stood there instead of finishing the animation. I'm gonna reset my phone real quick.
I've been having a lot of weird lag instances lately as well. I'm not too sure what's going on with it, but it's definitely not just you.
Okay. It's not costing me items or anything, so I'm not exactly upset about it, but it is really weird. And thanks for saying it, because that's how it feels. Like, it feels slow. It looks slow too. Medusa looked really slow. I remember her being so smooth. Oh, who's on call? Good question, Antricus. We've got Bryce right now and PWF.
Howdy.
Also, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Me?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You do. You guys ready for the Battlegrounds? You pumped up?
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited. I have absolutely made some rank ups. Per usual.
I'm terrified of Dragon.
So for those who don't know,
I think she's gonna do something fun.
I know she is. She's been. I mean, I feel like so for those who don't know, I have a Battlegrounds tournament, and it's been an absolute blast. And we're entering our second. It's the second tournament. The first one, Legacy won, is very close, and the second one is reaching the knockout stage. We do a full group stage, like like the World Cup and whatnot. And we've reached the second stage, and both of you guys have made the second stage, right? You're both in the knockout stage. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And so the difference, the theme for this tournament has been Grandmasters Cup. And so each week there's been like a new community member, a prominent one, a well-known one, who gets to pick 2 champions who cannot be in someone's deck. Like, they're just banned. You're not allowed to have them. And then there's 2 champions that you're just not allowed to ban, no matter how badly you want to, which I love. And I feel like this meta upcoming is a bit more restrictive, let's say, maybe, than the last one.
Yeah.
And so
I would say so.
I feel like Grandmasters are really going to get to mess with people. And they've all done great. Like, Dan from Frontline did it, Cat Murdoch, Kabam Mike. They've all been fabulous. But Dragon, within minutes of me announcing it, took it to, like, the next level. Like, she's doing everything I hoped people would do. I mean, I told them, like, look, do what you're comfortable with. I want everyone's Grandmaster week to feel very much them. And she has embraced it and ran with it. And I think she's going to screw with you guys. I'm very excited to see how she does it.
One thing I'm expecting is Domino cannot be banned at all.
I can't believe that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
The thing is, we still have 4 weeks.
I know.
That championship week, oh my gosh. I'm very excited. All right.
Yeah, I definitely think that this meta in particular that we're going to have through this, like this node set, is way more deck intensive than the other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a very specific node that requires very specific counters, and then you have some champs that are just gonna be a nuisance no matter if you're using a good counter or not. Because I mean, realistically, if you're looking at the pure most optimal counters, you've got Gallon and Hulkling. There's obviously a few others like King Groot and Red Goblin. And if anybody uses Red Goblin in this tournament, I love you forever. But then you start looking at like certain defenders that are going to be here, like Colossus, where if you're not using a tech champ or a nullifier, you're going to have a bad time. So it'll be interesting, and I've made some questionable rank up choices in order to have an advantage because I'm a sweaty tryhard.
I love it. Well, there's no way you advance in this tournament without being exceptional. Like, there just isn't,
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of very, very skilled people here.
How do you get up the permanent armor breaks with King Groot? I'm realizing how little I remember how to play him.
Throw your special one while you have Furies.
And that's the permanent armor break.
Correct.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to refresh? What is the heavy attack?
The non-permanent? Yeah, the heavy attack refreshes non-permanent poisons and armor breaks. Also at the cost of 1 Fury. If it's while you're in regen phase, it does it for a shorter amount of time. It doesn't refresh them, it pauses them for a short time. But if you do have Furies, then it's for like a little bit longer. I don't remember off the top of my head how much longer though.
So with him, it sounds like you want to maybe throw 1 or 2 SP1s with your Furies up, and then get to your SP2 with your Furies up?
Yes, that's what I do.
You guys think
Groot is great. I'm very excited to use him.
That was actually my follow-up question to both of you was, do you think you'll use him in Battlegrounds this meta?
100%. Especially against robot matches, he's going to be fantastic because that special 2 does like 400% increased burst damage against robots.
I get enough use out of him from AQ, so it's going to be painful to use him. Because I'm going from having Recall on, using Null, and finishing fights in 50 seconds to King Groot, and it's like, all right, back to 3 minutes.
Yep.
And AQ's painful enough as it is. I was honestly, but I think that was the node, the EQ node. I was surprised at how much SP2 did against that Captain Marvel.
It scales very well. Like, yes, the EQ does that, but I mean, that special 2 will end most fights.
Captain Easy's here. Say Fosse's here. What's up? OG Highland, got to get back to work. I hear you, brother. What's up, Troy? Thank you for the info, Cloud of Contempt and Picard. I do appreciate it. Should I try week 2 Indian BGs? Just Cavalier, not a good ranked up roster. So, Kai, I think the essence, if I understand the essence of your question, is like, should you not try to plow through right away? And I think that's the smart call for probably 90% of the player base, because all those guys, right? Like, I'm just gonna say the names that we know, that because of YouTube, but like Barrowman, KT1, all the people that are like in my tournament who are really pushing Battlegrounds, they're going from it hits 10 o'clock, it goes live, and they're in it. And so often, or pretty much every season, I've just played the slow route. I'll do my milestones, and then I'll slowly get going. I get into the Gladiator Circuit or whatever it's called, and I'll move up or I won't, depending on how much time I have. This year, I actually hope to be streaming tomorrow. I might not be exactly when it goes live, but I'm going to try to do a lunch break stream like this and try to push through, really test stuff out and have some fun with it. But that would kind of be my advice. Bryce and Peter F, I don't how would you guys have advice on that, and how competitively have you taken the in-season in-game Battlegrounds?
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that question one more time?
In essence, like, how seriously have you taken the in-game Battlegrounds? And do you have advice to folks who aren't going like super hardcore on, like, should they wait a little bit before they really start playing, or just kind of that kind of thing?
I do recommend getting done pretty, like, I always knock out the victory track pretty quickly. Most people try to do it within the first week or so anyways, so typically you're going to get some pretty, frankly, easy matchups, but for people with slightly less developed rosters, it may be a good idea to wait at least a few days before the people like me at the time, with a huge roster, are in there anymore. So then you're not having to deal with 30 ranked fours, because the matchmaking doesn't really have a lot of rhyme or reason to it, where, like, I've absolutely gotten some matchups with almost a full rank 4 deck against some mostly 5-star decks, and I feel really bad about that whenever it happens. So I'd recommend waiting at least a few days if you have a less developed roster, and you want a bit of an easier time, so you're not getting some very skewed matchups. In terms of, like, how seriously I've taken it, like, I played so much Battlegrounds in the first month of it. Like, back when the first season was, I played way too much of it. But the past 2 seasons, I've gone a lot easier on it. And I recommend just waiting until there's a week that you see in the nodes that look like something that you actually want to play, and one that fits your deck really well. And kind of just playing for a week and climbing up for about as much as you can. And then if you want to sprinkle some more in on any of the other weeks, then you'll be able to do that as well to get up to the point that you want to be at.
PW, if you have any thoughts on that, bud?
Yeah, I'd agree. At the beginning, if you don't have the highly developed roster, or you're just not highly competitive, just kind of hold back and maybe just do the milestones to get your 3 fights in, or whatever it is, and just use that to try to build up resources to help strengthen your account with the Battleground store. And then once the tryhards have moved out, you can start moving in.
Yeah, I think it's just more fun that way. Like, I'm a pretty good player. I think, big, huge picture, the whole player base. I obviously have a very large roster. And like I said, even going up against these 2 guys I have, like, I can maybe beat them a couple times out of 10. Again, I'm saying them because they're the big YouTube names. I know there's other names out there too, but like Barrowman, K21, even me, I'm going to lose the vast majority of the time. And I know how frustrating that can be for people. So I would really just recommend, like, kind of get, waiting a little bit and then going in, having some fun, maybe hopefully facing some people with similar sized accounts. And I think if you win 6 out of 10, you're doing pretty good. You're slowly moving up and that sort of thing. So it's like everything else in this game is, I think the challenges can be fun, but make sure that they're feeling healthy and not stressful. Oh yeah, Jay Will hit 1,000 subs the other day. That was awesome. That was really cool. Man's worked really hard and does a great job of streaming and all that, entertaining us, and is doing really well in my tournaments too.
Yeah, Jay Will's saying he wins 10 out of 10. That's basically right for his roster.
Jay Will, the I'm a scrub jokes don't work with me, brother. Like, I know you're good. I know I just do. And so every time you say you're a scrub, I'm gonna talk about you even more highly. I almost really started butchering English. No, 1 out of 10. Okay. I think he means number 1 out of 10 people. He's number 1 all the time.
Yeah, that does sound accurate.
Yeah, that sounds right. I started the fight before I wanted to. Laninos. Hey, Vega, long time listener, first time caller. That's awesome. I've never had one of those. At least that's my memory. I've seen a lot of Scorpions with Hulk Relic, physical vulnerability. However, wouldn't the Ant-Man Relic be more effective? Power Sting. So these two guys on call will correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Scorpion's stings are technically power stings.
They aren't.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And so
they're a specific damage type of whatever element that you choose.
Yeah. It's a little misleading because, oh man, this whole stagger is just really going to get in my way. It's a little misleading because I think they're called stings, but I think that's more a play on him being Scorpion.
That's correct. Yeah, it is purely like a burst of either poison, shock, or rupture damage.
So, but I can understand the essence of that question or why that gets asked. In fact, I think if I remember correctly, that was quite a bit of a thing in the CCP when Scorpion first came out. Was I think a lot of folks were misspeaking even. So there may even be some videos out there, some early CCP videos calling them power stings or talking about how he would be good for those sorts of lanes and things like that. Well intentioned. It wasn't on purpose. It was just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, I mean, you see stings, you see power stings. Why wouldn't they be the same?
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's just stuff like that where it's like, it's really understandable at that mistake. Zach, that's exactly what I almost said. Even more highly. It's like, I'm making up words. I'm butchering the language. It's all fun over here. It's all kicks and giggles. Who decided what I did put stagger? Honestly, I feel like they do this every once in a while where the lane makes a certain champion so outrageously powerful because it's like I'm not struggling. I also have a bunch of 6-star rank 3s, so I mean, but yeah, the where they'll do like a counter to the counter, like they know you're gonna want to be bringing these in. So like I'm not even sure. I guess Cole doesn't really. Although Route looks like it's a buff, and you still get this Thanos' favor at the beginning because the staggers aren't on you. So, but what's the one they often do? It's skill that annoys people. It's the passive heal block, and that annoys all the people who run recoil tree.
Definitely not a fun one. I'd go in with King Root and like force synergy partners to take off the recoil. But no. You still get through it.
Well, it's just so satisfying. PWF, do you remember we had a longtime alliance mate, awesome dude, named Ares? Didn't he rank 4 his Cole? Do you remember this?
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he did. I know he was the first 1 in 4 Loki to have a rank 4 Corvus.
Oh, that's a powerful machine.
But, I mean, he might have done Call as well.
I think he even let me borrow the footage for a video. I gotta check my own playlists. I'm trying to remember if it was actually rank 4 or if it was rank 3, but at the time, rank 3s were such a big deal. And so that's why it feels like a rank 4. I mean, but, oh, jeez. I mean, I guess he's got the 10 Furies. But this is just so satisfying, too. Like it's like one of those perfect designs of the animations with this huge, powerful monster just absolutely crushing someone with a hammer.
Oh yeah, he feels like he is smashing things.
Yeah, like I realize our phones don't have the the haptic feedback. I think that's what it's called. I realize they don't, but God, it feels like it does. Yes, Kabam Love Collins.
Hulk's buff will give him that.
What's that?
Hopefully Hulk's buff will give him that feel.
Wow.
Well, I actually don't know if y'all remember this, but way back in the day, there actually was a pretty intense screen shake that would happen with any champion that would like affect the ground or stomp or anything.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was egregious. So bad that they had to remove it because it was causing like motion sickness. But it was like stuff with Red Hulk and Groot and like a couple other things, anytime like Groot's second medium where he like stomps the ground,
Yeah.
it would cause the entire like screen to shake and vibrate. Not like a haptic or anything, but like from the art stuff, it would shake it and make it really blurry. It was awful.
Yeah. I still don't actually remember that, but now I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Was that really early on?
Yeah, it was. That was 2015, I think. That's whenever Red Hulk was released, and then they changed it very shortly after.
Okay.
I don't remember any of this. I believe you.
2016. Unless I'm just crazy and I'm misremembering something, because granted, that was almost 7 years ago.
Troy says they remember it, so...
Okay, yeah. See, I'm not making it up.
Yeah, because I started with Beast and Nightcrawler joining, so it sounds like that was
Nice.
after that fix happened.
Do you? I reference this all the time, and I feel like people don't know what I'm talking about. Since you said Beast, do you remember the video for him and them talking about how he was going to kind of help people learn how to play the game by learning how to do 5-hit combos correctly?
Yes.
Feels like a very different time, right? Now that we have champions where like you specifically want to end in lights to like Overseer, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Fidel's asking if you think Archangel is worth a generic Awakening gem.
Absolutely. Like no hesitation. Yeah. You know me. If you've caught enough of my streams, you know I'll typically be like, well, I don't know, and who else you got? And no, absolutely yes, 100%. You guys think differently? I always like to get a different opinion.
No, I agree. I would.
Yeah, if you have the need for his Awakened ability, he's one of the best in the games at it. So
yeah, that's always such a tough question because it's like, is the champion themselves worthy? You know what I mean? Like some champions have a really nice Awakened ability that makes them better, but they're still not that amazing. And then there's amazing champions where the like a good one that came up the other day was Hulkling. I truly believe he's one of the best champions in the game. This kind of this fun exercise we did this last December, where my Discord server ranked all the champions, and then I kind of gave my feedback on it. It was really eye-opening to me on how people were playing the game, because very rarely did the rankings dramatically differ from me, but they were different. And I tried to make sense of it, and often I was able to, and it really opened my eyes and be like, oh, this is how people are using this champion. Or like Wiccan. Wiccan is a phenomenal example of how highly the server rated him compared to me. And like Bryce is probably the one person in this game who likes Wiccan more than I do. And no, it's right. I mean, this is what we talked about on New Year's Eve, right? And anyways, the point of the story is you know how it is. We wind around. We take a windy roads here. Is I think Hulkling's one of the best champions in the game. And he's probably actually going to move up in the January rankings, because I do a monthly tier list. I'm doing it for 3 years. He's going to move up. And I think I'm going to get a lot of feedback that he's too high. Don't know.
I assure you he's not.
I don't think so either, dude. I mean, honestly, I did videos, even though I knew the videos weren't going to do well, right? And as a YouTuber, you're often like, I'm going to put all this time into it. It's not going to do well. The YouTube algorithm is going to think people don't want to see my videos. Should I still put it out there? And you're like, with Hulkling? I was like, yes. Like I did a save for Hulkling video. And because I'm like, that's how good I think he's going to be. I don't even fully know how to use him, and I'm doing stuff, and I don't even know how to fully explain it. But I can tell it's there. But if someone asks me if he's worthy of a generic, he's worthy. I don't know if his Awakened ability is worthy. I'm curious what you guys think on that one.
So I think that it's good. Sorry, my headphone keeps on falling out of my ear. I think that it's good. I did give him a generic Awakening gem.
Yeah.
Granted, that was also like back before he was in the in crystals, because I had gotten him from an early access bundle. I was very lucky because he was my most wanted character in the game. But I did give him a generic, I think that it is a good ability to have when you need it. I don't think there's been, like, I could probably count on one hand how many times the secondary effect of that ability has actually come into play. The resistance up, being able to block unblockable from Cosmics, awesome. Being able to degen shock immune opponents, also fantastic. The incinerate, not consuming shocks to create plasma, I don't think that's actually ever come up. Like, it comes up periodically, but it's specifically, I think that it may be an order thing unless I'm just remembering incorrectly, but I think that you have to place the incinerate into the shock and not vice versa for it to trigger that way.
Oh,
I may be incorrect on that.
You're answering. Answering for Wiccan. Sorry, I took a really windy path there, so I can understand it. I'm talking about Hulkling. Like, I get this question. No, I think it's good, and I think it's again, people wonder about Wiccan too, which is awesome. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't have Hulkling, and I'm very mad about it. So there's the end of my speech. I think that he has a good awakened ability. I don't think I would give him a generic, but I certainly would give him a class gem.
I know Ghost Dog likes to joke around. That's one of my favorite things about him. And so he's saying one of the top champs, excuse me, Vega, he's the top champ. So I don't know how, I think that might be kidding on the square. I don't know if people even use that saying anymore. But that means you're kind of being playful about something that you're being serious about. But like, I mean it, guys. Like, look at this. Like, I put out these videos. This goes back 5-6 months. That's Campo's video there. Campo did a great video on him, so I put him in the playlist. You can see I did the Essentials video 6. Like, I've loved this champion for a long time. I don't know if the awakened ability is worthy of a generic. I'm curious what the chat thinks too, and PWF, if you have thoughts on it. I don't know how big a fan you are of him.
So yeah, I mean, you saw a couple of my Battlegrounds matches. I'm a pretty big fan.
Yeah.
But mine's only Sig 20.
Okay.
And I mean, I do agree. I think it's a nice one, and DL will probably say it ties his entire kit together.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would give him a generic in most people's situations where they have one, maybe two, and they're still hunting a ton of champions.
Yeah.
If you have 5 or so generics, like some people, I'm not going to mention myself. Yeah, I would give it to him.
if you have a few lying around. So Na is ultimately saying where I come down, because I was asked by someone who did a phenomenal video recently on my thoughts on it. And I think you guys are, Peter, I think you kind of are saying, in the same ballpark or same line of thought, is getting those Furies to last has allowed me to end fights. In fact, let's pull this up just because I this is how much I love Hulkling. When I originally started covering him, I think I talked about the armor penetration. But one of the things with him on the armor penetration is if you hit their block enough, you're eventually going to go unblockable. So it's really good in the short term. But it's that second one that really does it for me. That second bullet point, the personal fury buff duration is increased by 3 seconds. Doesn't sound like a ton. It really doesn't. But where is it? But as you see here, if Hulkling is or becomes unblockable during his attack, you get another Fury buff increased attack rating for 10 seconds. It gives you 13 seconds where you throw that SB2, you're going unblockable, you get these big SB2s, and that often doesn't kill, in my experience, like with Battlegrounds or in War. You're unblockable and you just wail on them, and then they're dead. And so I think he's an interesting one. I love talking about him in case you guys can't tell. I'd love reading your guys' thoughts on it.
I want him really bad. So keep on, you talk about him. It feels like every time that we're on call together.
I'm sorry.
And we're friends. I think that it's hilarious. I know that it's not at all like a look what I have.
No, it's not.
But no, I know. But no, I mean, like you talk about him all the time. DLL talks about him see y'all's videos. Like he looks really, really good, really strong. And I also just like the character a lot.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get him soon.
They definitely did him justice. I think people who are fans of the comic book character, I would think have to be pretty happy with how he turned out. It didn't look long enough, but right before I started the fight, I think I saw my boy. What's up, Warwick? How you doing, buddy? And that's sorry, Bryce. I as you know, I had no idea. But as you know, that synergy, it's not essential for Wiccan. But it'll allow Wiccan to take some fights, right? Doesn't he get like a miscounter too, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, anytime Neutralize is active, he has a, what is that, debuff called tracking?
Yeah, something that allows him to counter miss.
Mm-hmm. And then I think Hulkling gets a pretty good benefit from it as well. Yeah, stun immune after 3 pierce buffs.
Yeah, I feel like that one's going to be a little tougher to like truly utilize, but I'm not going to complain, you know?
Yeah, it's just a nice little bonus when you need it.
The one I really think is just generally good for Wiccan is Quicksilver. That Fury buff whenever he goes over bar power.
Yeah, I actually wasn't sure when he was released if that was going to stack or not, and it does, and it's a lot of fun to use.
Yeah.
Ghost Dog's back. I'm wondering if you're still talking about the best champ in the game.
So Ghost Dog.
Taskmaster?
Taskmaster. Ghost Dog, how serious were you being, man? You probably said we didn't hear this. I was saying, like, one of the things I like about it is you joke around, but sometimes it's tough to tell in text. If you're like, you probably know the phrase. You and I are old enough to know the phrase. If you're kidding on the square, like, do you really think Hulkling's is the best champion in the game? Enzo raid, what is up? Thank you so much for the raid from Enzo. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Do we miss anything? We're talking about how boring Quake is in chat. I see that. I agree. That is 100% agreed.
Mm-hmm. I used to play her so often, and I have not touched her in probably like 1.5 to 2 years. I tried playing her once for like, it was either EOP or like some other challenge thing that came out, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I used her twice last calendar year in war, and I was like, that's about as much as I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what it was. I used her in the Inhumans Karina's challenge. So not only was I playing Quake again for like the first time in a long time, but I was also doing Labyrinth of Legends health pools with her.
Oh my gosh. Why would you do that to yourself?
No, it was one of the most miserable experiences I've ever had in this game.
I got pretty lucky that by the time I moved to For Loki, I think it was a situation where not everyone needed to know how to play Quake. Didn't you guys have like a season where you all had to learn how to play or something like that, PWF?
So, I mean, it wasn't anything quite like that. It was DAP held a tournament that was supposed to be helping people learn Quake.
Oh my
which
gosh.
I did partake in.
I'm sorry.
I regret every minute of it.
Yeah. That's time you can't ever get
good
back.
enough with her that I was using her pretty much every war.
So that's how it happened, that you ended up having to use her that much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I really am.
Because before that, I couldn't even Quake at all. Like, I'd go into Act 6 and it's like, I have to use Quake for this. I'm going to use 5 revives per fight.
Yeah. I was in a shared chat with Ares and Phase. Because those two guys, and I found out his name was actually Chelize. Enzo, speaking of Enzo. What's up, Enzo? Thanks so much for the raid, buddy. I think informed me that his name was actually Chelize, but I called him Celise. I just thought that's what it was. And I was in an alliance with those 3 fellas for quite a while, and then we were in a shared chat afterwards, just like an alumni chat of sorts. And so that's how I kind of became aware of For Loki and the Quake destination. So fortunately, I joined after that. And it looks like, I think the chat's moving a little quickly for me. I think it was SYC. I'm not going to be able to find it. Yeah, SYC there is. Saying thanks for the Hulkling Awakening chat. I have 3 generics and not sure if I'm going to give him one of those. You have 3 Awakening gems. I think yes.
Give him one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Super Sam, what's up, dude? And yes, this is PWF himself. Well, not me, obviously, but you know, the other person that sounds like PWF. That's him.
And Caleb, it's not that we have a problem with her; it's just that we've used her so much that
it's
we
lost all of the novelty.
Yeah, and it's just like I prefer to use actual counters, and my roster's developed far enough that I can just have all those counters.
Yeah, if you like Quake and you enjoy using her, all the power to you. It's just not a playstyle that I enjoy anymore. So that's why I don't play her.
PWF, that nugget you dropped early is coming out. Because for some reason, I thought it was all the damage off the SB2 was tripled against poison immunes. But you said it was robots. And so,
yeah.
Huh. I think this fight's going to get ugly for me, to be honest. It'll be fun, but I don't think this is going to go well. Ghost Dog answered. Panther? Oh, I think he's talking to someone else. Ark is still only... Hulkling was his first R4 Cosmic. So in all those videos that I did, someone even wrote, and you know, people like that's been one of the most fun things about doing those videos is people written in their experience, and not everyone has every champion, so they'll be like, oh, I don't know. I read through comments today. I set aside like 20 minutes, and I'm going to read through YouTube comments because I do enjoy doing that. But if I don't set a limit, it's something that can take like 2 hours, you know. And they said they really enjoyed using Spider-Gwen, but they understood that she's not, and I don't remember if it was the science champions or if it was the top 15 overall, but they understood that. And then they ended up using Mr. Fantastic, who they never thought would be good. And then they were like, oh, he's amazing. And so it's just really fun to like learn how people are using champions, right? Because Spider-Gwen is really good. You can do a lot
so fun
with her. And if you don't have all those other science champions, I could see someone thinking Spider-Gwen's one of the best science champions in the game. You know? Like, so I kind of want to try, it's like made me redouble my efforts in my tier list video to make it clear how good the champions in like the 3rd or 4th tier still are. And maybe I'll even use that story from the Spider-Gwen. I don't remember their name, and if you're watching, I apologize, I don't remember your name off the top of my head. But I thought that was a really cool comment, and I really enjoyed that. And I think it really shows how complex and big the game is. That there's champions that like, yeah, I don't think they're as good as Scorpion, but they're phenomenal, you know? So, anyways, for what it's worth.
I'm a very big Spider-Gwen fan, especially with that Penny synergy.
Yeah. In fact, there was a really tough fight. I think it was Act 7. And I kept saying, like, oh, I'm going to make a video on it. And then just something else would catch my attention. So I never did. But there was a really tough fight where... does she lower combat power? What does she lower?
She plays Innervates whenever she's in Hunter Spider mode.
Thank you. That's what it was. And she was amazing for the lane and for the fight. And people kept having trouble with it. Understandably so. I can't remember which one it was.
Back in Act 5 and Act 6, when nodes were still rough, to say it nicely, there was a lot of like increased combat power rate nodes, like 300% energized and stuff, and I used her for those paths because whenever you have Innervate on, it doesn't matter. They're just not gaining any.
No.
Was the original Vivified 200% power gain?
There was a lot of like both 200% and 300%, and it wasn't Vivified. It was I think it was called Energized back then, where it was just combat power rate. But that was also back when like there weren't a ton of ability power gain champs.
And Christopher Benesh is asking ideal SIG levels for Hulkling and Gallon. I believe Gallon's is 120.
Mm-hmm.
You have a preference for Hulkling, Vega?
I really think I think he's one of those ones where if you're gonna, let's check. I'll try to bring it up actually, because I don't remember how it scales.
I think Hulkling is a great example of what you were saying earlier, where like he has a decent SIG ability, but he's just such a good overall champ that giving him an Awakening Gem is just like, yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I think he's one of those ones where I was trying to. There's nothing. He doesn't have one of those ones where like this, like I think it's Quicksilver, where at SIG 1 he can now get 3 additional withers, which I think is very powerful at times.
It's insane.
So Hulkling doesn't have one of these ones where I'm like, yeah, just awaken him and you're good. Like you've got this whole new cool thing. That being said, we just talked about it at length. I love his signature ability, but I think it's going to come down to personal preference, right? If you want him and you want him at SIG 200, like I do, I think he's well worth every drop, you know. But it's not like you said, like Gallon's got that magic number, or like we had someone bring up. You know that also is cool about there's a lot of things, but like doing those videos or like just YouTube in general is you learn how many new players there are into the game. You know, like something like this, like someone brought up using a generic Archangel. It opens up a tremendously powerful ability that just didn't exist previously, and this is so powerful. But each neurotoxin, you know, does this, and then reduction of the ability actually, and preventing them from gaining health, like. And it starts off at 25%, so you get 4 of them up, and you've just shut off the ability accuracy. So I don't think it's like that. I'm not going to try to say Hulkling's ability, SIG ability is like that, but I'm very happy to have him at SIG 200. So I think if you like him, you use him, go for it. Super Sam saying Hulkling and quicker. I mean, Super Sam's a fantastic player in general, but definitely knows this Hulkling. Sam, what do you think on that question about SIG ability? What's up, BK? How you doing, buddy? I think you asked a really good question on the interview, the post I did for the interview with DLL, right? I just went over all of those today. I'm pretty sure it was you. You asked an awesome question. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there's if I got him to answer every good question was asked, that interview will take 4 hours easily. Captain Easy, the game is at a point that most champions can be very useful. I used Arcus a lot and is nowhere near. Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah, Captain Easy. Arcus is a fantastic example of what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got it, BK. You got it, Christopher. That's what that's why I was saying, man, I love streaming for this exact reason. K-Dog, is your Masakure and Valkyrie, are they of the same rank? If you, I assume they're both 6 stars. I don't know if I've ever seen your roster, but my sense on you is that you got a fairly developed roster. So if they're both 6 stars, and what rank are they, if you don't mind? Because I've actually, again, been having fun kind of just doing stuff with this last event quest. I think it was the fact that it was... I went away for Christmas, so I was able to kind of just play the game and like concentrate on it a little bit more when I actually was playing. I had fun in the EQ when I normally am just trying to race through. And it got me to play Masakure more, and I was really having a lot of fun with that guy.
Vega, do you have Valkyrie? I don't remember.
I do. In fact, I haven't checked the poll. Actually, I should look at the poll. Thanks for that reminder. So Valkyrie won the poll.
What was the poll for?
Best champion to R4 for Ghost Dogs BG tournament. These are all champions I'm considering. It looks like we're gonna have to wait longer than I had hoped for the banquet rewards to come in, but I could take a champion to R4 today. And
very nice.
want to do well in Ghost Dogs tournament. I do. My first matchup is against Captain Bay.
Okay.
Who I know. Yeah, I know he knows a lot about the game. I feel like his channel was more active a while ago. I remember, him and his name. But there's some really good players in the tournament, so I'm hoping to do well in it. But Valkyrie won pretty handily. So I have her ranked 3 Sig 200. I have a Tuma at rank 3 Sig like 160, and I could take him to 200. I just haven't because he's going to be in the upcoming featured.
That's smart.
And then I thought Man Thing was going to be I was surprised because I asked DLL on stream if I should take Sasquatch or Man Thing to rank 3 for defense. And I think he said he thought Man Thing, but they were both good. And then, but folks like Nerd were like, dude, do make it Sasquatch for sure. Like, no doubt, easy answer. I was surprised by that.
Sasquatch is so good. And yeah, I think I agree between the two of them, Sasquatch, though I do have both at rank 4, and they're both just outstanding options.
That's amazing. PDF, do you agree? I mean, I have 2 of the best Battlegrounds players I know on call. I should ask them. Between Man Thing and Sasquatch? He may have had to step aside. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit of a difference between the two of them. Man Thing, I see people using more offensively as well, but Sasquatch can still come in as a pinch.
Absolutely.
You just have to get his staggers in and then hope your SP2 crits.
I think that the biggest thing with Man Thing is that most of his threat is neutralized by buff immunes or Overseer, whereas Sasquatch, you still have to play around him even with more just base science counters. You kind of still have to play around the stun immunity and rage or wrath.
That's really it's really cool to hear from you too, because I just saw it so differently, but you're making sense. Peter, if I cut you off, what were you about to say?
The whole uncertainty of when wrath will kick in is just terrifying every time you fight Sasquatch. Every time it seems to happen mid-stun.
Yep, every single time.
And it's like, oh, well, I just lost the match right there.
I have been looking for a sentimental reason to rank for him. He was that's not worth the story. But I have reason to really like him or want to like him. And I was so disappointed when he came into the game, because we've kept seeing these huge, massive SP2 detonations after SP2 detonations, and I kind of fell for it a bit. So
I mean, I enjoy him a lot offensively, to be honest.
Yeah. What do you eat? SP1s just to refresh the rupture, stack them, and then.
No, I just build up 4 or 5 hit combos, throwing 1 medium and 4 lights, and then getting into wrath as soon as I can. Then just double mediums over and over to get up to special 2, throw it. And usually, if that doesn't kill, then just 2 more 2-hit combos, and you're back up to another one, throw it again, and the fight's over.
I might have to ask you to go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
I want to say B McG was putting out a video for Sasquatch. I'm trying to remember if he did that or not.
I think he did, but that's B. B's like a mini Mike for me, in that they do stuff in videos, and I'm like, oh my god, that looks really cool. And then I try to do it myself, and I was like, yeah, I can't do that. So, I'm sure it was good. I'm sure it was a great video. In fact, I think I saw it now that you say that.
Vega, you're going to have a fun time if you're going to be hosting any of my matches by seeing, I think, my 2 newest rank 4s. I don't think I've told you about yet.
No.
They'll catch you off guard.
You mentioned that you had some new rank ups, and I wanted to ask, but I didn't know if they were surprises.
One of them is. The other one is Joe Fixit, because he's amazing.
Rank 4 Joe Fixit. Love it.
Yes, sir. But I'm really excited for this upcoming meta. I think it's going to be a really good time.
Catch up on chat a little bit. K-Dog, both at 6 rank 3. Masakura is faster in BG's Valkyrie isn't far behind. I think for me with Valkyrie and that Masakura, if I've got his playstyle down correctly, is Valkyrie can just completely bypass. It might not be as fast, but she can just completely bypass defender abilities and nodes because she just doesn't have to ever hit them. Their block, obviously. And like to me, I made a comment in a video recently where I'm like, I think that's going to make her timeless. Like I think it'd be really hard for her to no longer have value. Like the power creep would have to be so huge for her power, or the damage she does is respectable in those scenarios, that the power creep would just have to be massive. Like I really think in 2 or 3 years, we're still going to be saying she's a good champion. And so that's why I'm really tempted to do her over Masakura, despite maybe even enjoying Masakura a bit more. I just feel like there's going to be less metas where Valkyrie isn't at least a reasonable option. And we're talking purely Battlegrounds here. Atuma seems absurd. I don't know why people are talking about him, so aren't talking about... Caleb, I agree with you, dude. That's why he's actually my default right now. I had hoped that Banquet rewards would come in way sooner. It wasn't fair. I thought they would be coming in today. I don't know why I thought that. Obviously, they're not. I think I'm going to place in that top 5,000 and we'll then get 2 gems. That's the only reason I haven't ranked someone to rank 4 now, and I'm talking about all these options, is there's these 2 crystals, and obviously I won't get to determine what class they are. And in the video, I would love to immediately rank someone. I just think that's more fun, in a video like that. I'd like for viewers to be able to see, like, oh, cool, and he ranked 4th as champion. He really was excited about it. So I'm trying to talk through all these various options with people. Oats fan, that was a nice little segue into your question. I saw something today. Someone said, I think it was in 4Loki chat. They said that it might be up to a week, I guess, to just kind of weed out any fraud or cheating or anything that like went on. So, Ghost Dog, just as flat, Defender Sassy going to be better overall. Interesting that you guys are all saying that. I'll tell you guys why. So if I forget, remind me. Christopher, my R4 6200 Sassy helped me with win ugly a lot. I like winning ugly, buddy. That's awesome. And that's, in essence, you're saying what these guys are saying. So that makes a lot of sense. Super Sam is essentially saying what I was going to say till the end. Is that was my main reason for Man-Thing over Sassy. Is one of the things I've started doing is trying to make sure my defenders have either a poison or bleed immunity or Nick Fury. And then therefore can't be AA, but maybe I'm worried about AA a little more than I should.
I think you should be worried about Archangel. He is a nuisance.
But it sounds like he's not killing Sassy that fast then?
He is. I've had people take down my Sasquatch and sub 30 seconds with him.
Really? Wow.
Would you still consider these two to be like... Are there other mystics you would consider over him? I guess maybe I limited it to just those 2 to begin with. Are there mystics you two would say, hey, you should check out this one instead?
No. I mean, I think maybe like MCoC, if you're looking at a purely defensive option, then you have a bleed immune, can be Archangeled. And that special 2 is annoying. But I mean, the 2 of them are fantastic Battlegrounds champions, so I don't think you've got anything to worry about. You can't really go wrong either way.
And for the next meta, MCoC is also armor break immune.
That's true.
Both of
the so are the other 2.
Yeah.
I hate MCoC. But he... Yeah. He synergizes nicely with Crossbones, who I'm starting to come around on a lot. I've always known he was good, but Bryce, you've obviously shown how good he is. I
wanted to be good so bad because of that synergy.
Yeah, that's you knew exactly where I was going with that. You know what? Actually, oh man, I have 2. Do I have 2 full paths left? I thought I only had 1. Nagase has been doing the YouTube channel. Nagase has been doing some cool stuff with MCoC lately. So if anyone's interested in him,
took up MCoC to rank 4.
Who?
Nagase.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you've seen the videos too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you really keep up with your MCoC YouTube. It's pretty impressive.
Gotta do something to keep busy. Sam does Battlegrounds. Some people do Arena.
That's awesome.
You know?
Do you both have a? Oh, you know what? If you guys don't want to say, I understand. But do you either of you have an R4 Valkyrie?
God, if only.
Yes, I do, and for some reason, mine is still unawakened.
Oh wow! Wait, what?
Mostly because if I awaken her, I'm gonna be putting 199 sig stones into her, and I keep finding more champions I want to put sig stones into.
Yeah, I just did that too. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't have her. I did 55 of these features and did not get her.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. That's the same thing that happened with Hulkling last featured as well. I went 40 something and didn't get him either. And now I'm saving because I very much want one of the 2 champions that was announced today.
I know. Oh, that dude, that is so tough. I'm sorry, dude. And it's
all good.
It's also scary though, because like, so assuming DLL's champion is in a featured crystal soon, like there's just something about being friends with the designer, right? Like it's
absolutely.
It is not the same as just being like, oh, that champion's cool, I want him. There's like this personal...
Conveniently, it's a champ that I also really just like and think is cool.
Yeah.
And then one of my closest friends that I've made through this game also happened to make him. It's a perfect storm for me. I told him, and I had full faith that he would do an amazing job. And I told him, like, no matter how good or niche or specialized or whatever he is, I was like, I'm going to take him to the max rank. Gotta support the friends,
Absolutely. The champion just acted like they were being played by Suida. Kicked my butt. Did you guys see that? That was a sweet move.
That was painful.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Suida was at the control for a few minutes. Sparko, I was wondering about that with Dragon Man 2. I brought that up a few times. People told me they thought that most folks would know about it. Sorry, I realized not everyone could see the chat. Is Dragon Man, if you armor break him, you get degened instead. I actually used that in a war fight once. Work's probably not here anymore, but Work and I were in the same alliance at that time. He saw it. It was pretty fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a fun, like, niche knowledge thing. So Ryv's got a question here. Vega, chat, and friends. Who to awaken from Banquet Route generic, going through Act 7 and don't care about prestige? Doom, Kitty, Fury, or Herc?
Fury. Yeah. That's it. I mean, he's good. Hercules, I will not hide the fact that I'm very biased against him just because, whatever. Don't want to get into that. But, either Hercules or Fury. Herc is probably the most egregiously strong champion in the game, and Fury is incredibly good as well and very versatile.
Yeah, I mean, Hercules is going to save you the most going through story questing.
I agree with that, actually, yeah, because he will save the most items by far.
And then I'd say Kitty would be next. That would save you the most if you have Tigra and you're good with either one of them. But you also have to enjoy playing Kitty, which I personally do not enjoy at all. But if you're saying that you're going to put a generic in them, I'm assuming you enjoy playing with them.
You don't enjoy playing with Kitty? You paused long enough for me to finally say that, because I didn't want to interrupt you. You don't enjoy Kitty?
No, mostly because I've never figured out the playstyle, and I always get hit.
Okay, yeah, that's a thing with her. That is a thing. And getting hit with her, you're dead. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
there's not a lot. That young lady.
What am I doing different from these other guys? Because they're just going back and forth and surviving everything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. I mean, that's like when you watch a Karate Mike or a BMcG video, and then you try to do it yourself, and you're like, "This isn't working like I saw on TV." I love Kitty Pryde, though. Again, one of my absolute favorite champions to play in this game. I totally understand why you guys will not assign her to me in war, though. No, because if you make, I mean, she's got like, if you make one mistake, you're dead, and her play style definitely seems risky, you know. Somehow Tigra seems safer. I don't know how to explain that, but like in the fights you would use them, it feels like Tigra feels safer. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that statement.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The players that you would assign in the fights that you would assign, Tigra feels safer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know with Kitty you're being aggressive, or sorry, with Tiger you're still being aggressive.
Yeah.
But if you're playing Tiger, you've also practiced all of those fights a
Mhm.
billion times
Yeah.
to get the spacing down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, that's kind of where I started to go. That's why I kind of changed a little bit with the contingency of the players that you would assign to the fights that you would assign. I know that started to seem kind of strange to some people, but there is something there. Even with Kitty, just kind of like, I feel like you could play her ultra safe. Like FinTech has some boss fights with her against Terrax, where he even talks about how he's playing her just this ultra safe way. And I think it's just so tempting to not do that. And then you end up in these scenarios where you do have to make very split-second decisions. Legacy has a lot of really good war videos showing him making the right call. But I think we've all seen it go very wrong before.
Yeah, because I mean, you're using Kitty, you see all these big numbers. It's like, I want to do the big numbers, but sometimes it's like, no, just stay with the
chill out.
basic numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're going to win.
Because she is very survivable when you are playing her in a safe way.
Yeah.
I mean, you take no damage while phased. You can, again, phase hits. You know, all sorts of things that like give her a solid defensive thing. It's just when you try to overextend and try to punish things that you shouldn't be when you're going to get hit. And then she is one of the smallest health pools in the game, and you're dead.
Absolutely. That being said, I love her. Like, and I'm not that great with her. I'm fine. I played with her a lot actually when I first got her, and I did a bunch of videos on her, and I really enjoyed it. And Taters, and you know Taters, he's awesome, right? He's very direct, which I appreciate. And I was kind of like, hey, so can I get some kitty fights? And he's like, no. He's like, Legacy barely gets them, dude. You're not getting them. And I was like, okay. And so I pretty much just stopped playing her. But as I recently ranked forward her, she's just so much fun. She's just so much fun. And I it's kind of, for me, again, this is all personal. I actually really enjoy playing Tigra too. She's similar to Cold Obsidian for me, where like I feel like I'm playing this incredibly agile Tiger who just creates these opportunities and pounces people to death, and it's just so much fun.
I agree on Tigra, though. I also, from a war planner point of view, find it hard to assign her in war because of things like Stand Your Ground.
Yeah.
Because God, I've died to it so many times myself. But anywhere outside, and even in like BGs, it feels safer. Something about it, like, you know, it's the same deal really, but it feels way better. Big Tiger fan. I need to take mine up to rank 4 soon.
Caleb has a question. Going into Abyss soon, rank 3 Doom or Wiccan?
Doom. All day.
Yeah.
Wiccan does not have what it takes for Abyss, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he'd be really good for stuff like Howard and Venom the Duck, and then maybe like Hyperion, but Doom is going to be your best bet.
And I can't imagine what Abyss with Doom is like with the skip special 3 button.
Oh my god, yeah. Be a lifesaver.
I think I actually used Doom against Green Goblin. Does that make sense?
That sounds miserable.
No. That sounds awful. Green Goblin has like the 90%, unless you brought Reed along, actually. Because it's like 90% of all resistances unless he's armor broken.
Yeah, I think I either brought along Reed. I did Abyss once and I've never gone back in. That's part of why I still haven't done the second Karina's challenges. Yeah. Again, that's just how it's just part of it was like where I was in the game, like my game knowledge, and I Aegoned everything I possibly could. Like I used Aegon for Havoc. No, I'm not kidding. And I've talked about it before. Like I used Aegon for Havoc because I didn't know how to reparry, and so it's just like, well, my Aegon's doing decent damage. This is like literally the most efficient way, time and units wise, for me to do it. And so there's so many Abyss fights. I just don't know. And I think you guys are right. It couldn't have been Green Goblin, but who? Red Skull. That's who it was.
Oh yeah, Red Skull. He's fantastic for.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
fantastic might be a little strong.
Well, yes, but
compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
Significantly better of a time than I had because I didn't have Doom going through it. I think I used Aegon for Red Skull, and it was awful.
Yeah, that's sounding right.
My first Abyss clear was using Ghost.
Oh,
an Abyss?
Ghost and Morningstar, actually.
How was Morningstar?
Was my MVP.
She
was awesome.
Yeah. Where'd you build her up? Or you? Oh no, you build her up over winning fights, right?
No, special threes.
Then
stealing souls.
And you can get her all the way built up in one fight?
No. You have to do it over the course of.
Got it. Okay.
I guess 4 fights because she starts with 1.
Yeah, we were saying the same thing, just in different ways.
Yeah.
But she was good for
do it all in one fight. You just have to die.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was great. She actually was the one that I used against the Collector, and she performed very well.
And this was at rank 3, I assume?
No, this was a 5-star.
5-star, yeah. Yep. No, I was remember I don't remember what they gave. They gave out something special for people who beat it early. Or like the first 300 or 3,000 or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I definitely wasn't in that.
Yeah. I was in that. And I probably, like, if the thing is like there's already pretty much leaked or rumored that something big's coming in January for us. But if there was ever like a true slow period, which I think now that Battlegrounds is here, there never will be. I think I would go ahead and do the Karinas and get back in there and just kind of learn the fights again. Or learn them.
I think that's a great idea, especially since you have paths left to do. Doing those Karinas will, I mean, you can double up on them.
Oh, no. I think I misspoke. I did it all. I explored the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said that you only did one path and then called it quits.
No. I did the whole thing. I just got it over as quickly as possible with Aegon. So like, there's a lot of fights where I'm like, I actually don't know. Like, you know, people ask me questions. I'm always like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I truly just don't know.
That makes sense.
But it would be fun.
I knew you should have had it done. I mean, it makes way more sense.
We were. That's another one where we were saying the same thing, just kind of misunderstood each other.
Yeah.
Hey Neto, what's up, dude? OG Highline's back. Nice. Josh, what's up, buddy? How you doing, dude? What was that, PWF?
There was a question from Josh that you would like. It was asking your thoughts on Gamora.
I really like her. I did a video on her. I did a video on her, and I think I titled it like "Can't Miss Buff" or something like that. I like champions that have like an evade counter or a miss counter, and if I remember correctly, she has both, but it's the evades off the SP3, right? It's kind of hidden. Yeah, so it's not that realistic. But she can do tremendous damage. She's been helpful to me in some Battlegrounds metas. I think she was one of the champions buff last year, and I understand. I truly understand a lot of the community is disappointed in the buffs last year, and I am not. And I realized that it's because we're coming up from very different directions. I think a lot of people in the community were hoping for more powerful buffs, and I can't say whether that's right or wrong or good or bad or whatever. I think that's just what they were hoping for. Where I've accepted, or I've come to the conclusion that for the most part, buffs are just going to take champions and make them good. Kind of like you probably weren't here earlier in the stream where we talked about like Spider Gwen was a champion that was brought up. There's been others where they're like, no, they're not the best in their class and maybe don't even make the top 10 videos, like I just did, but they're excellent and you can use them for so much. So I actually really like her. She has pretty decent synergies too, if I remember correctly. It's been a bit. Do you guys have strong Gamora thoughts?
I don't have strong thoughts. I think she's a fine champion.
Yeah.
Just with my roster, I don't know where I would use her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that she's really fun. I have her at rank 1. I want to eventually rank her up, but I enjoy her.
Yeah, and for me, that's one of those things where like if I made YouTube for these two guys, it would be different. But the fact is I don't think PWF or in fact, I learned from PWF and Bryce, and so like I get why they might not need her just because of the breadth of their rosters, how long they've been playing the game, how smart they are about it. But I think the vast majority of the community isn't playing in for Loki and SSX, and winning Battlegrounds tournaments. And so, like, I think there's this difference between someone saying, well, I would never use Gamora, and so therefore she sucks, and, I thought I was already dead. Domino's doing domino things right now, but in a good way.
Yeah, and I definitely do agree with that, and I think that's part of Kabam's attempt to this buff program. It's like, they're not making the top of the top, they're just making champs useful. He's like, a new player isn't going to like quit just because they pulled this champion as their first 5-star. Yeah,
that's a great example, and I'll use a very real one. And I think the whole time I was talking there, I was like, "Am I allowed to say this or am I not?" And I think I am. The way I'm going to say it, it's fine. Maybe I'll get a small slap on the wrist or something. But I did that video on the buffed America Chavez. I really like that's America Chavez doll. I'm trying to point at it. Like you guys see it. It's back there. Because I really like the show that I watched with my kids. And she's a cool character in the show. It's called I'm not gonna remember what it's called. It was a YouTube show and now it's on Disney Plus. Anyways, and so I really like her. And when she came to the game, I was just so disappointed. Because I felt like she was ultra niche, and even in her niche, there was other champions who just were going to do more, I felt. And so I was so excited when she got buffed. I played her buff on the beta server, like the 8.2 beta, and I did a video on her, and I took the feedback to the balance designers and things like that. And I gave them, kind of my ideas. And I wasn't saying like, hey, if you don't do this, she's terrible. Because I think she actually looks really good. I think she could be a force in Battlegrounds. She's going to be able to dish out some damage fast, which is a big deal. But there's some other stuff where I was like, hey, look, I think to really push her up a notch, to make her a champion that people play frequently, to make her like widely used. And the feedback I got was like, hey, these are all really good ideas, but keep in mind, we're trying to update her to make her less punishing to pull. We're not necessarily trying to make her the next Doom, Mm-hmm. And so I realize those are really wide goalposts to fit in between being the next Doom and being a usable character. But I think that for the most part, buffs are meant to be more usable, take the pain away from the pool, and to be fun. And and I think Gamora fits all of that. So. Yeah,
I agree, and just because I don't have her ranked doesn't mean that she is not good.
Yeah,
like I think that she is a very fun and a very solid champion. I mean, she's got a lot of buffs. She gets some crazy modified attack numbers, and she ignores miss really easily without actually having to use anything other than just her regular combos. I just don't have her ranked up yet.
Yeah.
Like, I think that she's awesome. And what you were saying a minute ago about, like, oh, people want, like, the big buffs and were disappointed with them last year. The buffs last year were amazing to me. I enjoyed almost every single one of them. Not every buff is going to be Magneto.
Yeah.
And, you know, you and I have talked about this extensively before. So I'm not going to get really into it, but it's just like you said, like, going from a champ that nobody wants to even see in their crystal reel to somebody where you're like, okay, that's, you know, solid. If I need what they have, then I'll rank them up. If I enjoy playing their new style, then I'll rank them up. That's good enough.
Okay, so Peter, do you have anything else to add on that?
No, I think everything's pretty much been said there.
Yeah, like Bryce and I were saying, like, I think we've had that exact conversation so many times. People are probably like, we get it, Vega, we get it. They're not all going to be Magneto. Thanks, bro. Like, you know, that's fine. So I'm actually getting close to us 2 R4s here. I'm realizing we're 8,000 away on the basic. And oh, we're really close. Did the Glory store reset?
Yes, it reset yesterday.
Ooh. No, it didn't. Oh, maybe I bought some yesterday. I was a fool. Either way, okay, I'm close. So that's good to know. And we're gonna run some scrap and kind of just take some questions here at the end.
Okay. Nathan already has a question.
Yeah, what's up?
He has 2 R4s, 15 R3s, and 5 R2s. Would you focus on more R2s or keep pushing rank 3?
Fortunately, looking for the question forced me to not make the bad R2D2 joke. That was really going to be bad. It was going to be bad. I think the thing that changes this is that how much rank 4s are flooding in now. Like, I feel comfortable in saying, at least at this, like, again, this 4 Loki. Bryce, you're in SSX, correct? Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. So, like, that 4 Loki SSX, like this tier 1, right, level, the rank 4 rewards have really opened up the floodgates, which means, you know, obviously as the various tiers that folks are playing, and that's just competitive level, right? I think that's going to continue to happen. So I would continue to focus on ranking the best champions you have up. The ones that are going to help you clear content, the ones you enjoy, the ones that are going to save you items, the ones that are going to allow you to do war, AQ, or Battlegrounds, whatever it is you're enjoying. And so my general advice would be less concerned about depth and more concerned about quality, and then depth secondly. Would you guys kind of analyzing that a little differently than I am?
Yeah, I think I would say what you said backwards, but I think it's how you meant to say it.
Yeah,
because I would focus on a more in-depth roster with, like, a wider breadth of options at rank 2 or rank 3 than getting one more champ at rank 4. If that makes sense. Because I don't remember if it was you or DLL who said it the other day, where it was like, if you take, you know, so and so up to rank 4, then you still have a rank 3 Doom. Like, the rank 2s and the rank 3s are still extremely helpful for you.
Yeah, I think we're saying similar stuff. Like, it's a pretty nuanced one. PWF, I think I talked over you again. Were you saying something?
Oh, I was just saying that sounds like a DLL thing to say.
Yeah, it really does. It all depends on who the champions are, too, right? Like, if you could rank up your Mr. Fantastic, I'd say go for it. If you're just ranking up to rank 2 Spider-Man, although I think he's supposed... shoot.
OG Spider-Man has been...
Thank you.
As getting a buff.
Thanks, you knew exactly why I paused. Although he's supposed to get a buff, but we don't know yet, right? We don't know. He might be one of those ones where we're like, well, I guess it was fun, but you know. So I would still concentrate on quality, and so I would be worried less about what the actual rank is and more about the quality champions you have that are going to help you out and ranking them up. I think is ultimately.
Yes, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. Andy's tagging me 19 days. That new thing pics leaked. What are they? Oh! The new questing content. Were they leaked or are they on a Kabam forum?
Let me go check the forum. I haven't seen anything, but
I'm intrigued because I also have no idea what even might be coming.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming. And the reason I'm asking about the leaks is I tend to. There's just been so much stuff with Photoshops, and sometimes the leaks are correct, sometimes they're not. Like, and it, you know, if people watch, I know a lot of people watch these streams on the playback, and it's not like I can go back in and say like, oh, that wasn't correct. And so it's just kind of this like, I don't know, feeling of responsibility, even though I probably myself will go look and see what the leaks are. So just after the stream.
Yeah, there's nothing on the forums officially.
Okay.
So.
Vega, what was so funny? Apparently I laughed at something and I don't know what it was. It was a while ago. So I'm saying, yeah, I think that's probably this, because K-Dog's making a joke about Gamora and the buff. How many Pedo, Sam, and Vega, how many Jessica Joneses for Loki have? I think we only have one, right? Do we have more than one?
I believe we have 2 that I have seen. 2 6 stars.
We don't want all the buffs to be Magneto, just Kingpin. I love that. Kingpin's so good. Oh man, my phone's like, you need to end. You're done. I think it is time to get going though. What's up, Adam? Thanks so much for being here, dude. King Golden, thanks so much for being here. Andy, it's in your line chat. All right, I'm sure it'll start circulating in the iChat. I'm curious to see it. I'd be excited to see it. Like I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know if there is like a rule on this stuff. I'm not even gonna say it. I am someone who often look at leaks. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Let's just say that. Well, no, because you know why? Is like there's a lot of artists who are like, you know, there was time spent and money invested and my energy invested to like have it announced in a very special way, and that's meaningful. And I actually get that. Like I'm like, oh,
absolutely.
So I totally respect that, but me and my ability to avoid temptation is not good enough, I guess. So that way, so you know, like I still like I kind of want to see it. So, but I don't like things spoiled. Like if someone
I actually
spoils
really
them.
like that we haven't had the champ reveals leaked in a few months. It's been really nice.
Yeah, so that one's always, this is weird. That one's always tough for me because I'm in the CCP.
Yeah.
And so knowing who they are before the community still feels weird to me. Because I'm a player first. Like I'm a player of the game. And so that one always feels a little odd to me. But I understand why it's the way it is. And for the most part, we only know. In fact, this month we didn't know until everyone else did. Yeah, there was those wanted posters, right? Or there was a cinematic that came out before it. So
we did get that 2023 like little. I think it was like the state of the Battleground thing, or it was like a little trailer that they released for the anniversary event. That's what it was. And they had a wanted poster of Absorbing Man on the wall.
Yeah.
And that's where I saw that, and so I thought, you know, he would be one of them. And then I kind of tied it together with the other. I mean, it's been revealed. I don't think it's a spoiler yet.
No, it's not.
But Zemo was the other one, and I was thinking it could be him because of the Jessica Jones synergy, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I ended up being right, and that's pretty cool.
It is cool. And like, I know that there's YouTubers who like, they really go over like the champion abilities, and I actually love them. Like I love DLLs. Like I download it and listen to them over and over and over. I often watch mics and again, download them and just kind of like just kind of try to get some nuance from them. So I understand why, and there's other channels who obviously do this too. So I understand why they want the champion abilities before Kabam puts them out. But like for me, just me personally, and obviously I don't do videos like that, so I don't have the same motivation. I kind of just wish we got them all at the same time. Like I don't enjoy the whole like, oh, am I allowed to say that? Or like how PWF had to kind of save me there because he realized I couldn't remember if the Spider-Man buff had been announced or not yet. Like I don't enjoy that. That's not a fun feeling, and so whatever. This wasn't the intended topic, but yeah. So KT1 has already done videos on the new champs. Oh, did they release the abilities, or is it just kind of like announcing them?
I don't think so. That should be in the next couple of days.
What'd you say, PWF?
Oh, it's probably just looking at their specials and what they might do.
Okay. Yeah. So Scarco's saying it. Yeah. So I know Max does them. Beezy does them. I know Seaton used to do them too. It's all fun. I mean, it's just like, experience it with a person. So I get it. It's cool. It's all good. Anyways, it's time for me to go. This was a blast. Thank you so much for Bryce and Peter for stopping on. It's always cool to have players as smart as yourselves, sharing knowledge, teaching me how to armor break. I feel pretty good about you guys. You in the chat really simplified all three of those champions for me. So I think we're going to at least test them out in Battlegrounds, hopefully tomorrow. So that'll be my intention, is to at least stream a little bit of Battlegrounds tomorrow. Wednesdays are always tough for me, but we'll be getting that in, having some fun with that. Thank you everyone from the chat for showing up. All the channel members. Looks like we celebrated an anniversary there with Neto. That was cool. And let's go PWF then Bryce to take us out today.
Thanks for having me on. Well, looking forward to the tournament coming up, and good luck in Ghost Dogs tournament. Hope you kick some butt.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for having me as well. I know I kind of just hopped in here, but it's been fun talking with everybody, and hope everybody has a great day.
Absolutely. And I realized I probably should have said it earlier in the stream. Anyone watching this on the playback, the channels of both of these gentlemen, all the knowledge you just heard, will be linked. All their channels will be linked in the description of the stream, so make sure you check them out. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.